and they found that the baby was had passed away. We are human beings caring for other human beings.
Who create the changes of the time? Who create the visions of your mind? The visions of your mind.
Again, the thing that comes to the top of my head is the staffing. Protect your staff is so important. I mean, I know managers have to work in, we all are professionals, and they have to meet targets, they have to meet criteria, they have to tick boxes. But I think managers, the government need to realize that the people on the shop floor, as we call it, the wards, the clinical areas, we are human beings caring for other human beings. So we need to be protected. We need to make sure, they need to make sure that we're okay. Because if I'm not okay as a midwife doing a 12-hour shift, how am I supposed to care for the 8 or 9 women I might have on the postnatal ward plus their babies? So protecting the staff will be the number one thing. And there are a lot of things that they could do, but that is the main thing. So the pandemic, when that hit, that was so crazy. So at that time I was working on the postnatal ward, and it was very surreal. I remember the week that we went into lockdown, I was doing a night shift going into the day that Boris Johnson announced that we was going into lockdown, and I believe that's the day that I actually caught COVID from one of my students as well. And that is because, did the government take it seriously? Because obviously there were talks of COVID in the background, but at that time we had masks, we didn't really know what was happening, and then it just hit us. So COVID affected my ward in the sense that I have the antenatal ward mixed with the postnatal. So that we have women who are in early labour, and unfortunately, those women at that time during the peak of the pandemic could not have their birthing partners with them at all. So they were in early labour by themselves. And it was sad. It was sad to see women just in the corridor. We obviously support our women regardless, but where a birthing partner will be with that woman or birthing person while they're in early labour to add little bits of support, we had to make sure that we were there for these women. You know, if there's 4 early labourers, I had to dot between 4 early labourers to make sure that they're all okay. Do they need painkillers? We would do that anyway. But if you imagine a birthing partner would be able to mop someone's brow, give them the glass of water, we had to make sure that we were there. So it stretched us even more. And of course, it was hard for a woman who is in the early stages of labour, which is probably, some might disagree, can be the most difficult part of the labour, because your body is starting to get into active labour. It's tiring. We tell you to move around, but all you want to do is just rest to regain your energy. And the women didn't have they didn't have their mother or their father or their sister or their husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend to talk to. So, but part of that, they were able to talk to the women, to their neighbours who was in the beds next to them. So something positive did come out of it. The women were able to share their experiences. But we had a lot of COVID women. I work in a hospital where there was a lot of COVID patients. We saw them being transported through the corridors, and it was scary. It was very scary. The anxiety that I had going into work and coming home from work was through the roof, but thankfully we made it through, fingers crossed, the peak of the pandemic.